Hey now, take a step outside and seize the day now. Set aside your worries, it's okay now. The sun is here to stay.
Oh. Did you catch me sniffing?
I didn't.
Good morning. Morning, everybody. Nice to see everybody there. Put that up there a minute. I could probably look at the comments today. Let's have a look. Oh, 1 minute. Let's see if we can share this into a group somewhere.
Morning, Judith, Danielle. I think I saw Popcoin in here.
Did you? Popcorn, good morning. Danielle, good morning. Who else did you say?
Judith and Chris.
Judith and Chris, hello. Yeah, I can't see the comments, remember. Not now, anyway. Just did something. So.
A1's here too.
Hello, Ian. Nice to see you. Everybody popping in. Nice.
Well, I thought the bot was working, but nothing's showing up on it.
How you been doing, Butch?
I've been doing all right. We've got people moving up here.
Told ya.
Yeah. It's weird. People who've had these houses up here that they've never even been in because it was like their parents' house from decades ago are coming up and staying in the houses and they're not going through and checking the houses first. So we've had 3 house fires in 2 days.
Wow.
Houses that completely burned to the ground because people come in and build a fire and there's been a nest in the chimney or something. So 3 house fires
in 2 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Just yeah.
Imagine that. So you've come all the way and over where you are, they've probably come hundreds of miles. They've not come just from up what we call up the road.
Yeah, no.
So they've probably travelled hundreds of miles, got there, knackered, lit a fire, not looked at what they're doing. Suddenly they got to turn around and go home.
Yeah, burnt down their house. So wow. That's what happened to my internet yesterday. They burnt down a power line and half a block worth of cables, so there was power and internet out for almost
inconsiderate.
Yeah, burnt down their house and then went back to Phoenix.
And all you could do was stand there and wave and say, "Thanks very much.
Bye. We'll send you the bill."
Oh dear. So that kind of thing. Now that's happened like just where you are. How many times is that going to happen all over? People are going out to their second homes. I think, did I mention it the other day? There's a town council over the weekend where the councillors were out on the streets saying to people that come to their village, thanks very much for coming, but can you please go and not come back?
I saw that. Yeah.
See that until this is all finished.
Go away.
We don't want you. Don't come to Weymouth. Yeah. Don't think, I'm going to go to Weymouth and have a walk on the beach like 300 other people are doing. Don't do that.
We are the only county in Arizona that's not on lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind you, you know, the size of Arizona and the amount that you're all spread about, you're pretty much on lockdown all the time anyway.
Kinda.
And yeah, I mean, if you walk into town, you ain't got no shops open. So there's no difference to you, really.
No.
Hello, Andy. Bit subliminal.
Teespring.com. They're delivering school lunches and homework to the kids, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
The kids are upset about it, but they're going back to school next week, April 10th.
You think they're all going to go back to school next week?
Yeah, they announced it.
Yeah, I think they're gonna unannounce it. Change their mind again.
Yeah. We're yeah.
I'm waiting to see the sort of explosion go on. I mean, if we've got about 1 million people now around the world, you know, and the cases are doubling, they're going up like
the blow up already happened. It's happening now.
Yeah.
We've doubled in the last week. The number of cases, it's almost 500,000 now.
500,000 over where you are?
No, 425 million people total have it.
By my reckoning, that makes it 1 million then.
Makes it 1 million. Well, you're
thinking, where's he?
What are you doing? What kind of math are you doing now? Oh,
what
there.
website are you going to? I'm factoring in, right? You could call me. You could
Morning,
say,
Logan.
I mean, you could almost say this is quantum theory, if you like, I suppose, because all I'm factoring in what everybody else isn't, because nobody on the news is factoring in that we've got exactly 428,000 confirmed deaths.
No, that's confirmed cases.
Confirmed cases, I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Right. So 428,405 confirmed cases, which doesn't take into account all the tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people that are on the move right now. All the transient people, all the illegals, all the immigrants that are trying to get in and out of different countries, and all of that, they're moving on, and you know, all of this migration and everything. So you've got all of that going on. Nobody seems to be factoring those figures in yet. You know, they ain't going to be left out, are they? They're going to be odd spots, I reckon.
Oh, they don't break you guys down.
You know, like when where you've got like these camps. I'm not seeing anything about the camps on the news. These refugee camps that are over at Calais, where people are trying to get over to England and that kind of stuff. You know, they're hotspots. They're just fish in a barrel, aren't they? So, and you've got all the homeless all over the world, and you've got all the people that, like I was talking about before, the illegal aliens, which is why we want an amnesty, because there's all these people. You've got the slave trade, and there's so many people. I mean, you've got to wait. You're going to say I'm over the top, but I think you're going to start having bodies popping up. You ain't going to know about it yet, but wait till they start getting a bit ripe in the heat and the sun. You know, bodies are going to start popping up everywhere where people have dumped illegals because they don't know what to do with them. That's my theory. That's why.
So they're showing the virus by county in the United States, but they're not showing it by county in the UK.
I don't think they know.
Yeah.
Don't know. I don't exactly think they know, but.
So this is where I live.
So
there's like 5 dots in the whole state. Top to bottom is about the size of the UK.
And what's the total number of deaths it's saying?
802.
See, that can't be right either. You've got to be
That's the US. That's the US.
Okay. What's the worldwide number of deaths?
19,000.
19,000. Now, this morning I was thinking 25. So that would be about right. Because again, there's a lot of people yet ain't been registered.
Seeing it spiking up again. That's the daily increase.
What, the yellow one?
Yeah, the bottom right. So we're working at a 40% increase every day right now. Okay. It's spiking. Yeah.
Yeah. Where's it going to stop?
Oh,
Uh-oh. Where's it going to stop, eh? We got our first death in Dorchester. Logan, day 2 of isolation, and I'm already very bored. How is everyone else coping? Hello, Logan.
he said that the BBC website breaks it down by county.
Yeah, it's a good time to start, thinking about plans. Start thinking about things that you might want to do. So for you, Logan, start having a cup of tea and having a look in your garden, and look at all them little jobsies that you've been talking about doing for ages. All of you, I know Logan's been talking about doing loads of little jobsies for ages. So, start having a look at them. Start thinking about what you can do. Maybe order some DIY stuff online. I'm sure you'll still be able to get some delivered. Crack on with changing those light bulbs, and I think we've got a smoke alarm out or something, and she's been nagging me for ages to do it. So it's one of the little jobs that will no doubt get done now. So where are you there? Where was you, Butch?
Oh, North Korea.
North Korea.
Yeah, they're not reporting, but they probably don't have it because they import from China. So yeah, I was just curious. They're still not reporting.
Is there anyone else not reporting?
I believe Russia is reporting, but I'm not sure what they're reporting. Yeah, see, they're only reporting 1 death, so they're not reporting.
Right. And what about Iran?
They're up here. There are 2,000 deaths.
2,000 deaths.
Yeah, and Italy is catching up with China. No, Italy passed China. I think China stopped reporting too, because China's stalled, and there's no way they just stalled. So Italy's up at 6,800 deaths.
Yeah, so you just can't believe the figures that they're giving us, So when you take a figure, so what the total
China's been at 81,000 for like 2 weeks now. See, you see in the bottom right, the day increase, it just stalled. They're not reporting anymore.
Right. Yeah. So you got to look at the figures they're giving you, and if they're giving us figures of 500,000 worldwide, it's over 1 million.
See, yeah, their confirmed cases, they just stalled it. They're not reporting. You don't go from 60. What that says 15,000 cases in 1 day, and then it drops to 1,000, and then to nothing.
Do you remember? A few days ago when we was talking, and I said to you that Fran's got a friend over in the Netherlands. We've got a supplier over there in the Netherlands. Yeah. Fran's got a friend, and essentially the message that was going out, even though it wasn't being said that way, but the message that was going out was, we need the elderly and the vulnerable to stay at home, and if you're going to catch it and die at home for the sake of the rest of everybody else, right? And that's essentially now what's come out here. I can't remember the words that he put it, but it struck me as soon as I was watching him say the words on the camera. And it was like, essentially what they're saying is the NHS can't cope. We know what's coming. We're not going to be able to cope with it. So if you've got it, stay at home. And if we can get you one of these respirators, we will do, but there's no guarantees.
How are supplies there now?
Terrible.
Are you able to get what you need, or is there a way for you to do it?
No. They're saying that they've been on this since January, because when I was watching a journalist grilling one of them, and they're saying that they've been on this from January, but as the journalist was quite rightly pointing out, it's only now that the government's putting things into place, like getting people to make extra ventilations and masks and all that kind of stuff, instead of putting that into practice 2 months ago. You know, now we're building a factory within the next 10 days over here. A company called, it's about 3 or 4 letters. It's like Enos, or one of you guys might remember it from the news last night, but EOS, something like that, NEOS or something like that it's called. And they've done a deal with the government to build a factory in 10 days. And start making 1 million masks a week. I think it's masks that they're making. And they're also, it's either masks or ventilators, and they're also building the same.
Oh, it's a car firm to convert factories to make ventilators?
Might be because they're opening a factory in Germany as well in the same time scale.
Fiat began converting one of its car plants in China to start making 1 million masks a month. Car maker wants to start production in the coming weeks.
What's the name of the company?
Fiat.
Oh, Fiat. No.
Yeah. That's the only thing I see on BBC right now.
No, this is a UK one. It was last night.
Yeah, I thought it'd be on their website, but I can't find anything real quick. Prince Charles tested positive for coronavirus.
Oh.
He has mild symptoms, but otherwise remains in good health, Clarence House says.
Yeah, see, I'm not quite getting where everybody's catching it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, he's been on lockdown, hasn't he? I mean,
we see. I have a conspiracy theory. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
You sure? Because it's a bit mental. My conspiracy theory is.
Now you can't see me roll my eyes.
My conspiracy theory is that there is some kind of terrorism involved in this, and there is more than one spread, i.e., there are several people that have gone out and spread it
without knowing it,
either without knowing it or on purpose, one or the other. But I think I don't think all of this has come from that one spot.
So the COVID virus is around already. This is just one variation, and this variation has also spanned another variation.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been around, so they knew what was up, but yeah.
Unless, I mean, the only other thing is, of course, unless the outbreak was a lot earlier than what they said it was, and they all told us it was later, because things don't add up, if you see what I mean. It doesn't.
They're just now catching up with it.
Yeah, it doesn't add up that every single person that has got this virus from all the places they've got it is all come from that one source.
No, there are cases, they call it community spread. And it's where one person in the community spreads it to the rest of the community, and that's what's popping up. That's what popped up in like Washington, and then
yeah. But aren't there cases popping up where people haven't been in contact with anybody?
Yeah. Community. Those are called community spread. Yeah.
Right. So if they've not,
I think that's right. That's not. Yeah.
Yeah. If they've not been in contact, how are they getting it? I wonder how old Prince Charles got it then.
Yeah, and then there's people that have it that don't show any symptoms. They're just carriers, and then they can give it to people without even knowing they have it. And that's why I don't understand the temperature thing. They're saying, oh, we just take everybody's temperature. If you're running a fever, you have it. But they're saying that there's people that have it that don't even know they have it.
Yeah, because if you're one of the people that are immune, then chances are you wouldn't be showing a temperature, would you?
Mm-mm.
But you could still be carrying it.
Which is why they don't want grandkids visiting their grandparents right now.
I was watching a reporter interviewing somebody, and the reporter was holding a mic, a bit like your mic with a big bubble thing, right?
Yeah.
And he's holding it on the end of this.
So he has this social distancing in.
Yeah, boomstick. And you're seeing the reporters now, they're all like that. So they're standing 4 feet away, but they've got the thing there for the person to talk to, right? Reporter there.
Morning,
right?
Simon.
And what I found was well, it wasn't me that noticed it, to be fair. It was Fran that noticed it. She said, what I find a bit strange, she said, isn't most of that made of metal? And isn't he speaking? So, whatever spittle, whatever's coming out onto the mic, onto the boom, onto the metal thing, that the reporter is just going to go like that to.
They probably have more common sense than that.
Do they though?
I don't know. Why would you be interviewing people in person about a virus that you don't know how contagious it is?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I mean, if they're sensible enough to stand there with a boom, you'd think I would have thought you'd have been better off doing it so that it was over the head. You know, you want it like that, so then you can't.
Yeah.
Oh, Prince Charles met with the Prince.
It's hard to give an interview doing this. Because you got to hold it up over your head. Yeah.
Yeah. Prince Charles met with the Prince of Monaco.
Now that I think about it, I remember hearing this. Yeah.
2 weeks ago. Oh. So he could have brought that back to the entire royal family.
Yeah.
In one go. Wallop. And, you know, people have speculated for years what would happen. They even made a couple of films about it. What would happen if the entire royal family was wiped out? But generally, they go for electrocution or a big plane crash or something like that, you know.
A war.
Or a war or something like that. But, you know, imagine. Because I should think plans are already in motion again to take them out of the country.
I've seen a documentary on what happens if the Queen dies. All the ceremony and what they do. I've seen a documentary on that, but I've never even, yeah, I don't know.
Well,
how far
go on?
How far back does it go? I mean, because the Queen is the Queen now, but if she passes, then it goes to Charles, I believe.
Yeah.
And then it passes down from there. So how far back do you actually go before you get out of the family? Isn't it only like 3 deep?
No, it goes on forever.
The family?
For our royal family, it will just go on and on. It will go on and on and on until you find somebody.
Okay. Once you break out of the Queen and her son and his son, once you break out of there, I'm asking where it goes from there.
Right. So if you was to take the entire Queen's family out of it, so the Queen, her husband, Prince Philip, her children, and all of her grandchildren, take all of them out of it, then it goes to the person next to the Queen. So if she's got a living sister or a nephew or a relative of some description.
Okay, which she doesn't. Does she? Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't remember actually if she's got any. There must be other. There are other. She had other relatives.
Okay, so it goes down through the lineage of the hierarchy.
Yeah, and you've got Princess Margaret's lineage, and so it all depends on if there was a wipeout of the royal family.
Okay.
It all depends on how far that wipeout stretched, right? Because of our rules and everything.
Margaret passed away.
Pardon?
Margaret passed away.
Margaret? What?
Yeah.
Princess Margaret?
Yeah, she passed away.
Oh, yeah, she died. So, like the way I understand our rules, right? You could be serving in a fish and chip shop, but because of the lineage, they're all dead. You're the next in line.
Okay.
It could literally go like that. You know, so if something and nobody's ever expected the royal family to get wiped out seriously, but something like this could do it. Something like this can do it quite simply because although they're separated from everybody, if Prince Charles has got it now, you know, until he just found out he got it, he's been carrying it probably for the last 2 weeks. So everybody that Prince Charles has come into contact with now is at risk, aren't they? And all that. What are they doing with the parties? They still having parties over there, Butch?
No. There's no. The federal government came in and said 2 weeks of no contact, no social. So we have to follow federal law.
Right.
So we just grocery store and back and forth to work. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, and everybody's adhering to it. I mean, there's nobody out here.
Have you got police on the streets?
Yeah, our normal cops.
Yeah, we got a bit more police on the streets here.
Oh no,
presence.
nothing extra.
No.
Nope. Walmart stations 2 off-duty police officers at the front of the store in the morning, and then they go through and do the toilet paper and the ground beef, which is a big thing right now. Everybody stands in line for it, and they get that done and taken care of the first hour in the morning, and then everything's calm again. And then in the afternoon, they get another shipment of toilet paper in, and it goes on the shelves, and it's there all evening.
Right.
Yeah.
Until the next morning, where it will all go again.
Meat's another problem. We're not getting meat in, but
you've got plenty of supply yourself personally, though.
Oh, I got a freezer full of meat, and I've got 2 pigs out back, and I've got a friend with a male pig that we can breed. So yeah, chickens and ducks, rabbits, yeah, plenty to eat.
Oh, I haven't spoken to Fran yet about the chicken.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
About the chickens. Hey, can you hear me, Fran? Can you hear me? Yeah. Reminder: we must talk about the chickens.
Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah.
Or no, that's not Wallace and Gromit. Who's the guy with the chickens? Is that Wallace and Gromit?
Yeah, the bloke, the farmer.
Yeah.
Chickens, yeah. Have you got access to fresh milk, like from local?
I'm sure there's cows around here.
Yeah, I mean,
we haven't had.
Do you normally buy yours from the supermarket, or do you have it fresh anyway? Is what I was wondering.
We normally buy it from the supermarket. I was going to show you one of the liters of milk, but you can get dairy milk here in the grocery store that's from a local dairy.
Right.
But I mean, all the milk is local. I mean, it's not from Phoenix or that area. It's not shipped in from anywhere. Right. No, milk is still available.
Yeah, we don't seem to be having any problem at the moment with the dairy side of things. Every time I've gone to the, mind you, I haven't been for about 3 days, but every time I went up to the shop, to Marks and Spencer's at the garage, although other main products were disappearing off the shelves and the butter and the milk was disappearing, I go in the next day and it's there again.
Yeah.
Logan sends his love, Fran. Logan.
And fast food restaurants has picked up tremendously.
They're still serving.
Oh yeah. They're drive-through only.
Right.
And credit card only. And
your McDonald's still closed?
I have no idea.
Do you know if they've closed?
McDonald's is like 15 miles away.
Oh yeah.
I got 2 nephews that work at Wendy's, and they're both working, and they're doing overtime, so they're constantly busy now.
Ours have closed.
Yeah.
Mind you, they said food outlets to close, but that they could do takeout. So you would have expected the takeaway shops to stay open because they specialise in takeout, and half of them are closing. And then, of course, you've got people. We've got the other thing where we've got people that are classed as a key worker. So, for instance, there's a family that own a pet food shop. No MOTs for 6 months yet.
I don't know what MOT is.
I'll come to that.
Okay.
So you got like this bloke and his family. They own a pet food shop, so they're a key worker because they can stay open because of people needing the pet food, etc. Right? But have actually taken the decision to say, "Nah, sorry, we're closing."
Yeah.
I'm looking after myself and my staff and my family, so we're not opening.
Yeah. We've gotten orders from 2 of the pet stores in the valley for rats over the last week.
Right.
They're staying open. They have to. There's no other option. I mean, distancing and be careful about what you do, but people need to feed their pets.
So unless they actually bring out an enforced, you must stay open to certain businesses, there's going to be businesses that would be classed as key workers that actually will decide, no, I'm closing.
No.
You know. And as Judith said there, the MOT, so over in this country, you have to have a piece of paper. It's called a MOT. I forget what it stands for. MOT, isn't that Ministry of Transport? And anyway, this piece of paper says that your vehicle is roadworthy.
Oh, right? Okay.
So if you've got a busted windscreen wiper the mechanic won't pass it. And you have to have it, otherwise you can't drive. It's one of those things. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, we have something like that.
Yes, if you've got a bulb not working, you have to change it, or he won't pass you, and that kind of thing. So, but they've suspended the need for an 6 months.
They suspended driver's license renewal for a month. So if your driver's license expired, you don't have to renew it for another month or 2 or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, they'll be relaxing a lot of things like that. You know, they'll be trying to cut a lot of corners as well, because they're going to be wanting to fix certain issues and do it in a blanket, easy fix way. So there's going to be an awful lot of corners cut as well, I should think. You know,
only time's going to tell.
Yeah. Cool. I just suddenly run out of whatever it was I was going to say. I was going to say something really profound and life-changing. It's gonna change everybody's life.
I got duck eggs.
I could right fancy a couple of duck eggs and some fresh bread.
They're still really tiny ducklings.
I know. And I mean, if you what would happen if you just left the egg in there with the chicken? Chicken lays an egg, right? And instead of going in there and getting it out and frying it, what if you just left it where it was? Would it turn into a chicken?
We don't have a male chicken. It's not fertilized.
So how do they get fertilized then?
Rooster.
I'm a complete novice. Yeah, but is that with the rooster actually, or is that with the roosters? I mean, what?
Fran, I need an adult.
I only know how it works for certain animals and people. I don't know how it works for chickens.
The egg is fertilized while in the chicken, and then the chicken lays the fertilized egg. It's not like fish.
You know how you got them?
Yeah, I do. I know how I got them. That's different.
Yeah, that's why they crow, letting everybody know to get out. Time to fertilize some eggs. Get out.
Right. So.
Oh yeah. Anyway. Sorry.
I understand the concept of the male.
Okay.
Doing something with the female. I get that concept, right? The concept I'm struggling with is the chicken lays the egg. How does the rooster then come along and fertilize the egg?
The chicken and the rooster fertilize the egg while the egg is still inside the chicken. Then the chicken lays the egg. Yep.
Got ya. So the egg is fully formed when it's fertilized inside the chicken, or before?
I'm going to say before.
Or is the fertilization produce the egg?
So a chicken is born with all the eggs it'll ever have inside of it, and they're very, very tiny, and they're up in what they call the ovaries. And when the male chicken fertilizes the female chicken, one of those eggs or a row of those eggs will become fertilized, and as the egg grows to full development where it's able to lay, there's just a little bit embryo inside that egg that is the chicken. And then that's when it's laid. Now, if the egg doesn't get fertilized, that little tiny embryo isn't in there, but everything else is. So it's all protein. So the yolk isn't what the baby chicken would be. That's all protein for the baby to eat or to live in.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
So a hen will brood and bring her eggs together and sit on them, even if they're not fertilized. So you can leave eggs in the hen house for 2 or 3 months, and the hen, or 2 or 3 weeks, I should say, and the hen will take care of them, and they're fine. But if they're not fertilized, they won't hatch.
Okay, so that's what I wasn't understanding, is how do you tell the difference? How do you know whether to leave that egg alone or not? If you want extra chicken.
So after she's laid her eggs, after she's laid all of her eggs,
yeah,
the eggs tend to lay dormant, and they all have a switch. They turn on at the same time, which is kind of weird because all of them will be born within hours of each other, even though she's laid all the eggs over a 2-week period. But once that switch is turned, those embryos inside start to grow. So you can hold it up to They call it candling. So you hold it up to a candle and you can see through the egg, and you can see the whites, the yolk, and then you'll see that embryo grow. And if you don't see that embryo, you know the egg's sterile.
I see.
Yeah. So you just hold it up to a light. Yeah.
Right. I suppose if you know what you're looking for, complicated.
But I only have 2 female chickens, so I can guarantee none of them are fertile.
Yeah. So if they've not been fertilized, then how does the process of them laying an egg?
It automatically happens whether it's fertilized or not.
Right. So they automatically.
Once a day, they lay an egg. Once a day.
An average of once a day, a chicken will just lay an egg.
About 5 eggs a week.
5 eggs a week, right?
For about 2 years.
It just goes through life laying eggs, not necessarily
for about 2 years, 2 to 3 years.
For about 2 to 3 years.
And then they'll stop laying.
And out of those eggs, it just goes around laying. Some of them might turn into chickens, and some of them won't.
When we raise up the chicks that we have, there's probably going to be a rooster or 2 in there, and then we will start letting them sit on the eggs and getting more chicks out of them. But the idea is, if you have a rooster around, you want to grab those eggs the same day. Throw them in the fridge. That stops everything. So if they are fertilized, everything stops growing. So it's just a little speck in there. But if you want them to breed, you can either leave the eggs underneath them, or you can get an incubator, which is a heater system that sits there and rocks the eggs and keeps them warm and all that, and hatch them that way too.
Do you ever bother like hatching more chicks, or do you just have the eggs and that's it, and then when a chicken after 2 years get another one?
When I was a kid, we used to raise them all the time. We'd let the hens sit on them.
Right. But what do you do now? You don't.
No, we just started with chickens. We just got them last week. Yeah. A friend of ours gave us two laying hens that are just a few months old, and then we bought up 6 or 8 babies.
Right. I just saw an email come in with the subject line of fat lard ass, which is from someone called James Kendrick, which is the guy that's been plaguing me for like nearly 2 years now. Evil sometimes his emails are.
Oh wow!
But yeah, it was one of the people that was not very pleasant to me when I was ill in hospital, and didn't believe it that I was ill. And because he didn't believe it that I was ill, in his mind, I was pretending. And so in his mind, he's caught me out pretending to be ill. So he just laid into me as such.
And now he's harassing you while you're alive.
Yeah, more coming in now, you know.
Lovely.
I can't even tell you what the subject line of that one said, because there was a 4-letter word in it, and one of them...
It was love, I know it.
It had a U in there, I'll tell you that.
Other people, that poor guy. We should pray for him.
See, I would if I believed in all that kind of stuff, but I don't. You know, this sort of thing.
You don't have to believe in something to do it.
No, I know.
Sometimes you do stuff just so the people around you will feel more comfortable.
I can remember a conversation I had with God once. I'll tell you about it if you like. So I was taxi driving. I'll tell you about it even if you don't.
I could so see you as a taxi driver.
Yeah. I was cab driving in London, and I just had all sorts of stuff going on at the time, you know, as you do at the time when it's happening to you, whatever it is, it's all world-ending moments. It never is world-ending moments because you get through it, but at the time you think it's world-ending moments and all that. And it was teeming down with rain and everything, and I've got this flat tire, right? And out of nowhere, I've got this flat tire, so I've had to pull over. And now I've got to walk back to, the only thing I can do is, this is the days before we all had the mobile phones. This was in the days where a mobile phone cost £2,000, you know.
I remember those days.
Right. So I had to walk back to the taxi office, and all the time I'm having this chuntering conversation with God where I'm blaming him for everything that's going on in my life and all the rest of it, you know, as you do. And I'm giving it all this as I'm walking along the road, and I must have looked like a complete nutter. And I'm like, you know, need help from you. I don't need any help from you. I'm going and I'm ranting and raving. And anyway, I go back to the thingy and I get, what do they call it? I forget what they call it, but it's like a crossbar like that. And it's a wheel brace, we call it. That's right, a wheel brace. Where it's got nuts on each end for the wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Take it off.
4-way.
Yeah, and because the one I had in the car, mine didn't fit. So now I can't take the wheel off. So I've gone back to the office, borrowed someone of someone else, and I'm walking back to the car in a pouring rain, getting soaked and all the rest of it. And I'm still giving it all this, you know, having this chanter to the Almighty, going, see, I've got one here, I don't need you, and all this sort of thing. I've got back to the car, trying to take the wheel off, and not a single nut on that one would fit. And this just went on, you know, and I was raging, and just, you know, there is no end, really. There's no sort of punchline. It was just one of those.
That was your time to yell.
Yeah, that was one of my angry nutcase moments where if somebody looked out the window, they'd have seen this bloke in the teeming rain just having an argument with himself, really. But there you are.
There we go. Simon says, I said to God, if you are real, give me no sign. He gave me no sign. Proof God is real.
Yeah, exactly. 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 So, where are we? Look at that. 20 to 12 it is. Not bad.
4:40 a.m. No, I woke up at 2 this morning, wide awake.
Oh, there's so much to tell you. I'm forgetting where I am because we never spoke yesterday.
We didn't.
So I don't know how this is going to go down. But,
famous last words.
Well, here's the thing. I was having a conversation with my with our supplier over in the Netherlands, right? And I said, you must now start. You must see it falling like a stack of an house of cards. You must start seeing customers now of yours, you know, not ordering and going under and whatever, because the whole retail industry is coming to a standstill. And he said, yeah, it's affecting a lot of people. It's affecting them over there. And I said to him, but funny enough, 3 weeks ago, I was probably the worst risk on your books because of the position I was in. I said, and now, funny enough, I'll probably turn into one of the best because no matter what happens, I'm not fazed by it. I'm not panicking. And we already had the problems that we had anyway. So, you know, facing imminent closure is something that we've been faced with and working with for months now. You know, unlike lots of unfortunate people that are out of the blue in this position. Boom, don't know what to do. We at least, you know, I've got some experience and in a way we've been expecting the boom of it and so a bit more prepared, I think. And now the government have agreed anybody on a furlough to cover their wages or cover 80% of their wages. Anybody that's self-employed, they'll cover the same 80% or a maximum of $2,900 a month. 2,917, I think it is. I don't know what might work out to. But they're also covering freelancers, right? So now, pardon me, now whereas again, last week, even with you, the situation between me and you personally is quite risky and, you know, whatever I owe you is at risk because of everything that's going on. Suddenly, there's a lifeline there. Suddenly, there might be a way to be able to put in a claim for money that we owe you and money that we owe other freelancers, and Logan and Kelly might even be able to, because he said he would backdate it to the 1st of March. We lost Kelly at the beginning of March, so I don't see any reason why we can't get Kelly on it.
Yeah.
And anybody that's self-employed or freelancing and not on PAYE is also going to be able to get covered in some way. So now I just see, whereas I didn't see any kind of a light in the tunnel, now I can just all of a sudden someone switched the light on at the end of the tunnel, and I can see a bit of it.
A little bit of hope.
Yeah, I do. I feel a bit like that. I do. I feel a bit like that. I feel like it's not all doom and gloom.
They're arguing back and forth about what they're going to do here. So as of last night, there's still nothing. The two parties of politics are fighting back and forth, trying to add. They tried to pass this bill where they tried to add all this other stuff in that they couldn't get passed. So they were just going to throw it into the back of it and try to get it all passed. And then when it didn't pass, they blamed it on somebody else. Well, if you really wanted it, you would have passed it with this stuff in it. And they're like, no, bring it back without that stuff in it.
Yeah.
Just stupid stuff they're trying to get away with right now.
Okay. Yeah, I can see there's going to be a lot of political stuff like that, isn't there? I mean, one of the things there's going to be lots of arguments over is, whether they stopped the travel quick enough and contained it quick enough. I'm one of the people that thinks that they should have stopped it a long time ago.
December. This all started in December.
The moment, it doesn't matter that it's China, the moment another country says, we're building a hospital, and by the way, we're going to build this hospital within a week.
You know something's up.
Something's up. That's the time to sort of take notice, not 6 weeks later. And then they said they were building a second hospital, which they built, and still a lot of people didn't take notice. That was the biggest wake up call. So I should think there's going to be a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of people going to make a lot of money out of this. I don't think it's wrong for people to make money. I mean, you
just need to make it ethically.
Yeah, if I had the facility to start making hand sanitizers and face masks, knowing full well that the government will buy every single one I make, I'd start making them. If that's what it would take to sort of save or keep a business going.
Yeah.
But of course, I'm a retailer, and the only thing I could retail would be the stuff you would get from the supermarket wholesalers. And I thought about that, and I thought, no, doing shopping by post, that would be a bit too much.
Business interruption loan scheme. That's what they're calling it there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that we'll be looking at.
Okay.
There'll be all sorts of schemes, so that yes, there will be people that will be able to abuse it, but the whole idea of coming out with so many different schemes is so that you can try and get everybody, so that everybody, no matter what kind of business they're doing, they can get them all. That's what I'm hoping, and that we'll get on it. So all of this stuff's got to be filled in and claimed for, and it's going to take a while. But for me, I don't care. It doesn't bother me because, we had a big black cloud hanging over us for quite some time, and this whole situation means that although I've got a cloud up there, it ain't so black. I can work with that. It gives us a way of keeping going, so I can work with that. One of the things I'm still selling, peeps, by the way, is the Royal Mint 10 times the Suda Mint Fund and the shares in the Royal Mint TV and the Royal Mint.news until I've sold them all, and then I'll do another one. And Patreon. I need your help with Patreon, Butch. I think I've messed it up. I went in.
I just dropped my pen cap.
I went in and and tried to delete all the Patreons and start again.
Okay.
And what I've done this time, and I was able to delete all the tiers and start again making all new tiers, but I don't know if deleting the tiers deleted the actual Patreons, because all the ones that were there, they all need deleting, because what they've signed up for, I can't no longer give them. So they all need deleting, and then if they want to, they can re-sign. And then what I've done, right? So it's best to just delete them all, stop them all, and refund it or stop it, cancel it.
I don't think they'll renew.
That's fine. If nobody wants to renew, that's fine. But
no, I'm saying I don't think they'll automatically renew. If you delete the tier, I don't think they'll automatically renew.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I wouldn't want it to. Because if we can just delete them all, the original ones, then people can make up their mind, because it's complete. What I've done is I've set up another set of tiers, but the tiers that I've set up on Patreon is completely different now. So I've set it up based on the 10 times the mint Suda Mint Fund. So whatever you give me, you're giving me for that, and you're giving me to carry on. And there's one there for $10 a month that is literally just to support me and my expenses, if anybody wanted to sign up for that. But it offers you nothing. That one, it says on there, it offers you nothing, because there's nothing I can think of offering, for $10 a month for that. So with the other ones, they start at $5, $10, $25, $50, $100, $250, $500, $1,000. So they're all those, but whichever one you sign up to, you're signing up to it on the basis that if we win, and if we still carry on with the suing the Mint and 288 group, and we were to win our case, then you will get 10 times your money back. So if you've signed up to the $25 a month and you do that for 5 months, which means that over a period of 5 months, you've given us $25 times 5, then for each $25, you would get $250 back. So you would get $250 times 5. So that whole Patreon now is geared specifically towards that. And the reason for that is because I can't sell coins and because I can't deal in numismatics, the things that I can sell are the shares in the Royal Mint.news, shares in the Royal Mint.tv, and I can take money on a 10 times Suda Mint fund. So there's no point me doing Patreon for anything else when we don't know what else is going to happen. So the Patreon is specifically geared around that now, which is why I want to cancel everybody else, because it would be wrong to automatically put somebody on it. So they all need cancelling off. And then if you want to come on it, you come on it. So if you choose the cheapest one of $5 a month, and and this drags on for 15 months, and you end up paying 15 times $5, then for every $5 you'll get $50 back, equivalent 10 times. So it's a way of people being able to join in with the Royal Mint Fund, but do it on a monthly basis instead of just coming along and buying some now and again. Now you can think, well, okay, I'll put $25 a month into that and sign up for the $25 a month one. Or if you can afford to put $50 a month into it, sign up for that one. And no matter which one you sign up for, you will get back, if we win and the case goes forward and we win, you will get back 10 times your money. Obviously, if we don't, then you won't.
I'm sorry. I had to go back and look at our live feed real quick.
Yeah.
There was no disrespect meant, Angela. I think she took offense to us talking about God. There was no disrespect. It wasn't meant to put down religion or anything.
No, not at all.
I understand.
I
had to go back and watch real quick to see what we said. But no, it wasn't. There was nothing
I'm
blasphemous or anything.
Person. I talk about what I think and feel and all the rest of it. And I was giving Bible studies at the age of 11. I was talking up on the platform at the age of 12 and 13 to a congregation. So and knocking on doors and that.
I was trying to figure out what she was talking about at first, and I was like, okay, let me go back and listen. But no, there was.
So I don't knock any faiths whatsoever, none whatsoever. But I also reserve the right to sort of have my own
Your experience with God.
Feelings on it, yeah.
Yeah.
No. I'd love to think he was up there so I could go knocking on the door, but you know.
I have a habit of saying things I shouldn't, and I wanted to make sure I didn't say anything. Yeah. So no, I'm very
happy that we do not get into the faith religious area.
No offense was meant if we said something that was offended.
So where was we? What was I saying? Again, it was something very profound.
It was, and we all accept it. So that's our show. Bye. No.
They need to get us on the payroll. You see, they need me and you as a team in the White House and in Downing Street. They need to be on here talking to us, saying, "Look, Ian Butch, tell us what to do," and we tell them what to do.
I don't want that responsibility.
It's easy. We know what to do. It's easy. We got nurses, and I'm just you can't. It's horrible watching it unravel sometimes, and you know it's going to unravel. We got nurses and doctors all on the front line, not wearing masks and gloves.
Yeah,
not protected. They're going to start dropping like flies soon. Have to. You know. The disease ain't going to suddenly come along and sweep along the wall.
Somebody made the comment, and I missed it, or I missed posting it. Since Charles has it, Prince Charles has it, how much faster are they going to come up with a cure?
Well, you know, I mean, he's got it. It's going to be a wonder. I mean, there's the amount of money and research that will now go into respiratory problems and stuff to do with this coronavirus. Oh my God, will that help people with COPD and various other breathing issues? Because all the work they're going to do on this coronavirus will lead to better health, fixing COPD issues and other breathing issues, won't it?
Yeah.
They're going to come up with all sorts of drugs and inventions now, where they would never have done before.
They're trying to double up on ventilators and do stuff like that too.
Yeah. Here's one thing I don't get.
Thank you, Angela.
The NHS developed the test that tests whether you've got it or not. Right? That's what he said on the TV. Our NHS develop the test to test whether because there's two tests. There's one that tests whether you've got it or not, and there's another one that tests whether you're immune or not.
Oh, okay. I know the CDC here released a test to all the states and then had to redo them or something. There was something wrong with them, but I know we did our own testing. Yeah.
Well, he said that the NHS developed the first test.
Okay.
But he also said that the second test, we were buying as many as could be produced. And I can't understand why, if our NHS actually developed the first test, why is it actually costing us money in that sense? Shouldn't other people be buying from us instead of us buying from other countries? If we developed it, if we made it, you know what I mean?
No, but you may have given the instructions on how to do it, but maybe you guys didn't make it. Maybe somebody else is making it and you're buying it from them. I have no idea.
But maybe like they had bigger manufacturing, I suppose.
You're paying for the manufacturing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
I'm going to need my Midway Jimmy.
Jimmy? All right.
You'll probably need one. So shall we go for an advert?
Yep.
And I'll see you in a minute. Back soon.
Bye.
Soon.
Hey now, take a step outside and seize the day now. Set aside your worries, it's okay now. The sun is here to stay.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Part 2. Welcome back to Ian and Butch on a Wednesday morning. It's Wednesday, isn't it? Tuesday morning. So
I'm joking. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. I get my $50 tonight.
Ah, yeah.
I get
still delivery.
$1,000 worth. Yeah. No, we got to set up with the bank. We can still do it with our bank. So, which is nice. So, I'm not gonna. They probably won't get opened tonight, but all that's got to be scheduled.
Say, when are you looking at doing the live?
I'm not sure. I'll give a little notice. There'll be a day's notice, but it's not going to happen tonight.
All right, because we're trying and share it. We know when it's on.
I'll get them about 11 o'clock p.m. your time.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So it'll probably be tomorrow after the show. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea.
So like Thursday at 1 p.m. or something like that.
Yeah, that would work. That'd be a good idea.
Popcorn was in here. So mail I sent out 3 weeks ago is just starting to pop up in the UK. I got a notice from somebody that they finally got their letter. So, and it's one that I've sent out twice. So they got the first one. So 2 other people are going to get 2, and then the rest of you are going to have to wait until that 3 weeks goes up, because the stuff is starting to get delivered now.
Right.
So
cool. So those of you that haven't received it yet, just have a bit of patience.
The 2 people I've double sent keep the stuff. It's all good.
All right.
But it's coming. I just thought of that because Popcoin sent me an email. Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot what it was. There was something else on the tip of my tongue to ask you.
Oh, no, that's it. So the $50, I'll get those tonight. That'll be cool. And then we've got a way to cycle them out. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got more access to the post than I have at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, I know the post is still working, but
they closed the lobby, so you can't go in and buy postage and stuff. You can't go into the lobby itself and actually set it on the counter. Everything is self-service outside the lobby now. So
yeah, I'd probably be able to send parcels. You know, that would be quite possible. So that's what I'm looking at the minute, and that's why I'm working on those Facebook shares. You know, and I shall probably start putting parcels together next week. And having the space and nobody here, I'll be able to just, I don't know,
spread out.
Yeah, I'll be able to just spread it out and create boxes. You know, try something in every box.
I got 3 parcels from you on Monday.
How'd you get on with it?
All 3 of them came in at the same time, and they were actually dated about a week. 2 of them were dated the same day. 1 was dated a week before. Yeah, and they all came in the same day.
All the time.
Yeah, or actually, 1 came in Saturday, 1 came in Monday, but I picked them all up Monday. No, it was awesome. All kinds of stuff. My auction wins, and the 500-pound parcels, the 2 of them for 410. I got those.
You got those as well.
Yeah. Massive coin sheets. That's awesome.
You happy with all of them?
Oh yeah, you can't see the stack. Yeah, no, it was great.
Excellent.
Literally took me 3 hours to go through and unwrap everything.
That's a lot of unwrapping.
Took forever. So no, it's cool. I'll make a video.
One thing I can do, I can put good parcels together. So this idea of giving people £1,000 parcel for 1,000 shares, I think that's going to be something that's going to help us.
Yeah.
You know, because that will help give us, that's work that can go on, if you like. That's stuff that can go on whilst everybody's in lockdown. No matter where in the world they live, they can start doing it. So I'll tell you how I've been doing it for the people that are joining in. Is I've been making like a list of groups that I'm in. So on this particular, I've got a couple of accounts, but on this particular account, you know, it's got, there's one page, it's in about, how many? This one.
Oh, we just lost his audio.
Where I'm managing.
No, I thought we lost your audio.
Oh.
It came back.
I'm in another one where I'm only in about 15 groups. But anyway, the point is, I write down all the groups that I belong to, and then the video that I am sharing, I put a tick by the side of it, and then I know that I've shared it to that group. Because when you go back, you can't share them all, boom, 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 boom. So you share a couple, and then you share some more tomorrow, and share some more later on tonight, and whatever. And it's easy to forget where you shared it to, and you don't want to share it to the same group twice, not really, because they'll get fed up with that. So I try to think of a way around that, and the best way I can come up with is quite literally something like this, where I make a list, and then I just go intermittently to different ones. I don't even do one after the other. I'll do a couple on this page, and then I'll do a couple on that page, and so on. And just work through the list, making sure that each and every one of them groups I've shared to it over a period of a week or two. So that's how I'm doing it. And the one I'm concentrating on, which I think is the hardest video to get seen, is the Ostomate one. And I'm working on that. And that's been seen by nearly 12,000 people. And it's been shared.
12,000?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's had about 12,000 views on Facebook, and it's been shared about 550 times.
Very nice.
And the other thing that happens, you see, is when you share it to a group, sometimes people in that group will go to watch it. Like the admin of the group will go and watch it, and then do a watch party for everybody in the group. So they can get seen by quite a lot of people.
Hey, Hector. Morning.
Hello, Hector.
He's in the U.S.
Nice to see you. 4 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning.
I think it's 6 or 7 where he's at.
So this is him. I've got to come back to this. So doing what we're no, me and you.
What are we getting back to?
Because I can talk about this sort of with you as opposed to just on my own. So a few days ago, like I was saying a little while ago, a few days ago, it's all doom and gloom. Right now, because of the way that my mind processes things, now what I'm seeing various opportunities. Right. So, a lot of people look at this staff on furlough thing as like, oh God, and I see it as a way of like, oh wow, that's an opportunity. That's a way in which I can help and keep the staff on. Right. So that bit's covered. Now maybe I can get some wages because they're doing self-employed. That bit will be covered. Maybe we can get John covered, so that'll be covered. So now if we can get all ourselves covered, so now if I sell anything, now if we take any money from the 10 times the mint fund, or if I sell any of the shares in the domain or anything like that, Butch, right? Now 500 quid comes in, say. Whereas before that 500 quid's going to get swallowed immediately on the wages and expenses and all the rest of it. Now suddenly there's going to be things that 500 quid isn't going to get spent on. It's not going to go and get swallowed up on Logan's wages because I've now got help to pay Logan's wages. So that means that we have a chance of whatever money we can bring in over the coming months isn't just going to be swallowed, which means that our business actually, although it just sort of dive bombed and went, it's almost like all them explosive pieces have come back together again in slow motion and glued back together and gone, okay, you got another crack at this.
Another crack.
Every pun intended. So I see it as a massive opportunity because over coming time, we could end up, if I focus my attention on what I can sell, which is the 10 times the mint fund and the shares in the domain names, and I have more domain names that I can put out there. So by having those products to sell and being able to bring money in from that, which we've already done, someone, as I said the other day, put in some money, it means that we actually have a chance of coming out of this in a way. you know, and maybe by the end of this, we've got so much publicity on Facebook because of what we're now doing, sort of evolving our business in a way, right? That we get so much publicity out of Facebook that the Mint and 288 Group have to sit down and do a deal because they won't be able to shy away from it anymore. You know, if those videos start getting 1 million hits on each of them,
yeah,
then there's no way they're going to be able to ignore it. So that's why I feel quite positive. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely stuff to work with.
Yeah, and I'm not under stress. I'm not under the cosh. Whereas I'm always under the cosh for like, right, what am I going to do to fix this problem? I've got to do it by next week, or I've got to do it by the week after, or whatever. Now I can just chill.
Breath. Take a breath.
Yeah, I can think. I can, you know, plan. I know that that I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what money I'm going to get. I don't know what money you're going to get, and so on. But what I do know is whatever plans and stuff they put in place will mean that I won't lose my house for the next year. That's what that will mean. That's it. That's a stress off for me.
Oh, definitely.
House sorted, food in the cupboard. You know, I can take my time now, and we can carry on with the shows, and we can carry on with rebuilding, I suppose. Yeah. Anything is, as they keep saying on the old press conferences, nothing is off the table. Everything's on the table, isn't it? Anything could happen.
Anything.
Yeah, one of you might win the lottery. In which case, you might pass a bit of it this way. You know, who knows? What kind of comments we got? I can't see any.
Chats. You've seen it. That was it. Chat
That was it.
Dead. Yeah.
No one's talking to us.
Nobody's talking. Hector said hello, gentlemen.
Oh well, if there's no one there then, and there's no one watching us, well, what we're doing? It's like sitting in front of a mirror.
It's one of those days. Yeah.
Oh.
They're watching. They're just not chatting.
I know. So there we are. So good news is, and bad news is.
And it looks like they just passed the stimulus package here. $1.8 trillion.
Wow. I reckon we're looking at.
Oh no, it says Senate agrees. I'm sorry, Senate agrees that it's not passed. They worded that really weird. That's BBC. That's BBC wording it weird. Senate agrees to stimulus package. It hasn't been passed yet. Never mind.
Okay, so who does it get passed by? The House of Representatives?
Both.
House of Representatives and the Senate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's all very complicated, your political system.
Not at all.
I find it complicated.
It gets very complicated.
You know, the states do the voting and not the people, but the people have to vote in the states, and colleges get to have our states, and
it's kind of weird. We they try to set it up so that that states with more people have more power in the election. I think so. Certain states have a lot more power than other states because of the population density or something like that. There's some way of setting it up.
Yeah.
So the popular vote doesn't win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, over here, a lot of us don't like it. Over here, it's not proportional representation, which means that you can have the country vote for one particular political party and they still don't get in.
Yeah.
You know.
See, and it works the other way around too. It's certain segments of the country can vote a certain way and force the other country into it, other part of the country into it. So everybody in California has good voting power, but they pass all these stupid, inconsiderate laws that just cost the world more money. And so the rest of the country tends to outvote them federally. So they have all these little silly laws in their state, but they can't push it onto the rest of the country because we won't let them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that in California?
Because that's where all the liberals are. That's where all that's the mentality of the state, I guess.
Right.
For the most part. But like they banned straws, plastic straws, because there's pollution in the ocean. So they just banned plastic straws. Yeah. What?
Not a bad idea.
Really?
I mean, you've got 300 million people in your country using plastic straws.
Yeah.
You know.
But then you say, okay, it's okay to use paper straws that are wrapped in plastic because it's more hygienic.
Oh, yeah, we see that's no good.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
We're going to do something about the pollution, me and you.
Yeah, dilute it. That's the solution.
Do what?
Dilution.
Dilution.
Dilution is the solution to pollution.
Exactly.
Would you rather drink a gallon of bleach with a teaspoon of water in it, or a teaspoon of bleach in a gallon of water? One's safe for you, one isn't. It's all about that percentage in the mass.
Yes. And that's how we're going to fix it.
Pollute it and then dilute it?
No, I just got an idea. I've got an idea. We'll start a movement, right? I've got this idea that will solve the problem. Excuse me. I need to have a sniff.
So we have the popular vote in the electrical.
No, I've not been on
some other form. That's what it's called. What I was talking about earlier, where the individual states have more
complicated. Yeah. You know what I mean? All that palavers.
Hey, Mike Cook.
The college gets to do this with the what? It's just like everybody should have a vote. Who do you want? They're in. Hello, Michael. Nice to see you. So do you want me to tell you my idea?
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you how we're going to fix it? So this is how we're going to fix. This is how we're going to fix it. We have to start with one at a time, right? So I'm going to pick on Sainsbury's. And I pick on Sainsbury's because Sainsbury's is where I do my shopping. Now, you've got your Walmart and all that over there. But over here, we've got our main shops are Sainsbury's supermarket, Tesco's, Co-op, Safeways, and Morrison's, and Asda. Right? So about 6. So they're our main ones. Then you've got places like Waitrose, Marks and Spencer's. They're a bit sort of top up. So anyway, so the one I use is Sainsbury's. Now, Sainsbury's have a return address, a customer return address that's free post. And the customer return address is free post in Guernsey, right? So my idea is this, it's quite simple. No one can get the pressure on anyone to change what's going on. Whatever pressure you put on the government as a people's, the industry will put more pressure on the government and wave the money, the dollars and the pounds, to get the government to see their way, when we all want the government to see a certain way to protect the environment and the planet, and money comes into it big time, right? So the only way it can be fixed is if the government of any country was to come down and go, right, no more single-use plastic is allowed. It's illegal from now on. Therefore, it doesn't come into our country, right? Or whatever. It's not made in our country. No single-use plastic, right? You can only use stuff you can recycle. Now, of course, that's never going to happen. Even though they could produce these laws, it's never going to happen. So I'm thinking, the people that have the power are the supermarkets themselves. It's Walmart and Sainsbury's and all of them. They have the power, because when Walmart or Tesco's says to a supplier, you have got 3 months to change your packaging so that it's not single-use plastic, or we're not going to buy it, you'd be surprised at how fast all of those manufacturers would change their packaging.
Yeah, but Walmart's going to their manufacturers and saying, hey, can't you cut 2 cents off the packaging on this? Yeah. Right. How do you make it cheaper? Yeah.
It's all about money, see? And you've got to convince them that, you know, they can save money in another area. For example, a box, right, a cardboard box like this. Cardboard box like this, nothing particularly special, not nothing too big. Something like this. Full up, seal the box up, leave a little tiny hole in the box, right? And then every single bit of single-use plastic that comes my way, I shove through the hole and squeeze in the box. So if it's a chocolate wrapper, if it's a cigarette wrapper, whatever wrapper it is, if it comes from Sainsbury's, put it in the box. Instead of putting it in the landfill bin, put it in the box until you can't get no more in it. And then seal up the little hole and put the free post return address on it in Guernsey, and then pop it in a post at no cost. And then it'll go back to them. Now, me sending a box of rubbish plastic back to them at a cost of probably 15 or 20 quid is what it would cost them, right? And they get lumbered with that cost. Me doing that isn't going to shake their bones at all. But if you had 1 million people sending 1 million parcels every other month, suddenly it's costing them, you know, £20 million a month. You'd be surprised how fast a letter would go out to every single supplier that they've got in their books, going, you've all got 3 months, and then, you know, when you're not selling to us if you're using single use.
What is the free?
Quick and easy.
What's the free postage thing?
So I don't know if it's tied into the Sale of Goods Act or the laws or whatever, but a lot of places, if you have faulty goods, so this is their return address for returns. So if you bought something off them, you're not happy with it, you can send it back to their returns address, free post.
Oh wow!
It just so happens that the Sainsbury's returns address, main company's return address nationally, is in Guernsey, which is more expensive.
Oh, different. Yeah, okay.
So it will cost more.
So that makes sense. We don't have anything like that here. That's kind of cool. Yeah. I mean, you get free returns at places, but yeah, it's not a law. Yeah.
Yeah. So because they do a free return,
and they don't know till they open it that it's not a return.
Exactly.
So it can't be denied.
Then they'll get charged for every single one. Now that would be the fastest way to change their minds, because all you've got to do is change the mind of a dozen people. That's all it is. The people that actually are right at the top, that control Sainsbury's or that control Walmart. You're talking about a room full of people, no more. That's all it ever is. Just a room full of people control the whole empire. So all you've got to do is convince those. And the fastest way to convince a room full of people at the top that your idea is a good one is when your idea is costing them £20 million a month. Suddenly they wake up and they listen. And then a letter would go out so fast. You see, they did it here, but they did it with a crisp packets, what you call potato chips. We got a company called Walker's. You're welcome, Judith.
Oh, Lay's, yeah.
And
it's owned by an American company.
And so people were set up this starting to about the crisp packets not being recyclable, and they do millions of them, and they're single use. You can't recycle them. So people started sending them back to Walker's, putting them in an envelope and sending the crisp packets back to Walker's, and it started costing Walker's a lot of money, right? And they got a lot of bad publicity over it, to the point where they said that they would look at changing what they do. So it had a powerful effect, right? Trouble was, you then had idiots that were, as always, you always get people that spoil great ideas. And you had these people that didn't even bother putting the potato chip packets, the crisp packets, in an envelope. They literally just put the crisp packet in the post box.
Put an address on it and sent it.
No, didn't even bother putting an address on it, because there is an address on the crisp packet itself.
So this has a distributed by address on it.
because it's got an address on the packet itself. They were just putting the crisp packets, the empty crisp packet, in a post box, which was getting a bit silly then.
Yeah.
So that's how I think we could do it. Start a revolution. Power to the people, citizen, and all that.
I was looking at a wrapper. I remember seeing on boxes of cereal and stuff. There's, if you're not completely satisfied, please cut out the UPC and send it back to us for
Exactly. But
Yeah.
if you send it, and even if it isn't a free post address, if you send it to them as a parcel and put free post, because you've written free post on it, the post office will take it off you. Once you've taken it off you and put it in the system, that's it. Job done.
Weird. Cool.
Yeah. You can send anything to anybody without any stamps on it because they've got to pay for it at the other end.
Yeah, Lester, I don't understand your question.
What's he say?
What are you doing about selling your product differently packed? I think you just came in the middle of the conversation.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that just ties in with what we've been talking about, in that we're going to be changing what we do a little bit, you know. So what we're looking for now is people that want a nice £1,000 coin parcel for sharing a post 1,000 times, and you can just take your time doing it. That I was showing you on that notepad. Just take your time doing it.
Yeah.
That was said in the 1960s, and it went to what we have today worldwide. What was said in the 1960s?
I don't know. I don't remember. We changed subjects like 3 times in the last minute.
We had a.
Oh yeah.
You may or may not know, Hector, but we had a program in the 70s, I think it was, late 70s, 80s, and it was, I think it was called Citizen Smith.
Yeah.
And there's an actor called Robert Lindsay that you may have heard of, because he's made quite a lot of feature films in the last couple of years. So he's got quite well known worldwide. And Robert Lindsay was the character. So it was Robert Lindsay as a young man. And he played this character, this 70s character that was power to the people type thing, you know. And that's what my reference is to. For the English people, sort of my age group, they know what I'm talking about.
No, that's what I missed.
I don't think it's down to the manufacturer. It should be down to Tesco, etc. I'm firmly working in film production bags, etc. Tesco's asked them what they were doing about changing. Reply was nothing. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of confusion at the moment, because there's companies that are saying to their staff, we shouldn't close down, so therefore you can't go home on furlough. And the staff are saying, hang on a minute, we don't think we should be here. And you're not keeping us 2 meters apart. It's now gone to 2 meters, by the way, Butch. What is it over there?
2 meters?
Yeah.
I think it is 2 meters. That sounds about right. 6 feet.
Yeah, they were talking originally of a meter apart in Italy, but it's all now 2 meters apart. Everybody's saying.
You walk into Walmart, it's business as usual. I mean, there's some stuff missing, but I mean,
yeah,
people walking around.
Confusion over who's going to stay open and who isn't. You know, even last night, you've got Boris Johnson saying construction workers can stay open, you know, because they can carry on building and stay 2 meters apart. And then you've got the Mayor of London from the same party saying, no, I don't agree with that. You know, you've got all this work going on around London. We should stop all the building. All the private firms are stopping it. See, that's the thing. It's like the people, again, power to the people. The people, even the big businesses are being sensible. There's so many people being sensible right now, whereas the government isn't. You know, the government's not doing a forced lockdown of the building industry. So the building industry are taking matters into their own hands and saying, right, well, we're locking down because we can't stay 2 meters apart. You know, things like that. So it's going to be a lot of confusion over who should and shouldn't.
Definitely. There's a lot of weird stuff going on.
I'll be interested to see what the news is today.
Yeah. Today, find out what's going on.
I will.
Find out more.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
There's Casper's. So what's today? Did we say today was Tuesday?
We did a couple of times, but it's really Wednesday.
I want to be able to do little giveaways and stuff, and we can't do any of that, which is a shame.
You got to figure that all out.
Yeah, got to figure out how to do all of that. Whether there's any way of doing it. Is Katie on? Are you there, Katie? How's things going in the supermarkets? Are you having it easier?
I haven't seen her this morning, but
no, she might be at work.
Hector said his local stores are have empty shelves too.
Yeah,
and he's here in the United States.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe he's southeast or Midwest, but I'm not sure. I don't remember now.
Right, southeast would be southeast. East is over there, so southeast would be towards Louisiana.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I don't think he's that far.
Right.
Well, I know he's not that far because of the time zone, but yeah.
Yeah,
I cannot remember where you live, Hector. Oh, he lives in California. Never mind.
California.
I thought for sure he lived in the Midwest. He's Pacific. Yeah. He said 5 a.m. Yeah. California.
Yeah,
we were just dogging on California too.
I remember.
Oh, they're the easiest state to pick on.
I remember visiting California.
California's where, yeah. I mean, Hollywood's there. It's all the actors, and they have that. Yeah. It's all, the whole state's controlled by one town, one city. Yeah. Everything goes through LA. So.
Yeah, I found it quite surreal.
Lee Whitehouse says hello.
Hello, Lee. Nice to see you.
So.
I had a missed call. Do not update.
Sixth largest economy in the world. Well, Central Valley would be.
Say that again. I just got a notification come through. I've got this therapy app. So it's called My Therapy. And every time I take my tablets, so I just have to click the button to say, yeah, I've took that one, I took that one, I took that one. And it's just a record of, it keeps a record in this app of all the times I've took my tablets and when I've forgotten and when I've not taken them and so on. Mm-hmm. Anyway, reason for saying this is I just got a notification off them saying, capital letters, do not update to iOS 13.4.
Oh, wow.
So, because if you update to that, the update can erase your My Therapy data. So there's obviously something wrong. If anybody's got iPhones, there's obviously something wrong with the update iOS 13.4. And if that's one app saying, hey, don't do that one because you could delete our app, it might have problems with that update. So be careful about updating your apples. I'm not going to update this because I'm going to wait and find out.
I wonder what's going on with the updates. We'll find out.
Right. But when anybody knows, let us know. But hot off the press there, something wrong with the iOS 13.4.
Popcoin is wondering why we're ignoring his mess, or if we're seeing his messages. Yeah, Popcoin.
I don't get to see him, but
yeah, no, he waved and then he asked if we were seeing his messages, but I haven't seen anything up above in a while.
All right, Popcoin.
He said thank you for the postcard. Him and I think Judith got the postcards.
Oh, they got their postcards. Yep. Yeah, they went out the other day, didn't they? Or something. So they are. What are you going to be doing? People start making a plan. Get your notebook out. Start writing things down on what you're going to do and what things you need to get done. Yeah. What you might need to do for your own bit of business if you're setting anything up.
Hector's jumping ship. He says he lives in the Republican area, not the Democratic area. Yeah.
Agriculture and ranching.
So he lives up in like the Sonoma Valley, which is the largest agricultural producer in the United States for spinach, lettuce greens, stuff like that, along with all kinds of other stuff like that.
Okay.
It's the largest producer, probably in the world, of that type of stuff. And then just north of them is Napa Valley, which is all wine country. So all the American wine comes out of Napa Valley.
The name Napa Valley rings some kind of bell. Is there something about Napa Valley?
Yeah, it's the largest wine producer in the United States. Some of the best wine in the world comes out of Napa Valley.
Oh, is there a wine that's got Napa in the title then?
I'm sure most of them do.
Recognizing it from, or a certain name of wine that's made.
Well, Central Valley's further south. Yeah.
I got you.
It's Fresno County, not Sonoma. Never mind. But yeah, he lives up in the agricultural area of it.
Would you? Is Chris on? Chris, would you happen to have that link for the VIP group that you could post if anybody wants to join in with that? If anybody wants to join in with the shares and the £1,000 parcel for 1,000 shares, I'll assign you a post.
Oh,
Chris is doing well with his one. A hospital doctor said he was told to leave his rented room because his landlady was afraid he would bring the coronavirus into her home. Yeah. But you see, how can you, on the one hand, you look at that story and you go, how outrageous, rah, rah, rah. On the other hand, how can you really blame the woman in a sense? Because all she's going by is the information that you and I are receiving, which is what they're putting out in the news. And they're constantly saying on the news that the frontline staff, doctors and nurses, haven't got protective equipment.
I think the frontline people need to. They know the position they're in. They need to be able to take steps to protect the people, so they aren't the ones infecting people. I mean, if they don't have the right protective equipment, they shouldn't be interacting with other people in public. I mean, I get it, but there's got to be something. Yeah,
because you've got banged out all the time on the news, you're going to have people like that woman going to be frightened and think, well, if you're not properly protected, you're going to bring it back here then. And she probably ain't wrong to a degree. There's a certain bit of that
there's got to be steps that the doctor can take to protect the people around him.
Well, I mean, she'll be in trouble now because they are bringing out rules to stop landlords of any description throwing people out, and to stop banks taking over mortgages for non-payment and that kind of thing. So that's already in hand. So none of the landlords can think, well, I'm going to chuck that tenant out. They've got to have a better reason. And the courts are suspended for a month or two.
And that would be just like one person in an apartment building that's on quarantine that's sick. Can you evict them so they don't have the possibility of infecting the rest of that building?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you work through that?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hector says doctors in healthcare are checked before they leave, and they are using PPEs. That's here in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah. The UK, they don't have enough.
Yeah, not here, Hector. Not here. They're literally taking young kids, and at the age of like 18, 17, and 20, and they're chucking these young kids on the front line
because they'll survive it.
Yeah, hoping that they're going to survive it because they haven't got as much protective equipment and things, which is a bit much. But we have had, I think we've had our first kid now, over here anyway, that's got sick.
Oh wow! I haven't looked at those statistics.
Yeah, I mean, I was quite skeptical about this. Oh, it doesn't affect children and it doesn't affect teenagers. I've been skeptical about that from the beginning. It's like, well, I don't really read right.
They might have underlying things going on too.
Yeah, they might just probably have a stronger immune system, which means it will delay affecting them and won't affect as many of them as it does the older people. But I reckon it still will affect them.
Yeah.
Especially those with COPD and asthma and stuff like that.
Stuff like that. And there's a lot of lung respiratory stuff going around nowadays too, from pollution and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, can't wait to see what's going to happen with some of the planet, the ecology, the climate, and all the rest of it. I'm loving this bit about Vienna, not Vienna.
Oh, yeah, Venice.
Venice.
Yeah, the clearing of the canals.
And the water turning blue.
I was going to look for that the other day, and I forgot.
And apparently, the fish are coming back into the canal, and the dolphins are coming back into the canal. All in the waterways. So now you've got people walking along the streets, as it were, being able to look straight in the water and see dolphins and fish and lovely blue water instead of all oily.
I'm getting some park in Florida.
Wouldn't it be great if they banned all the boats?
How are you going to get around?
Well, I don't know, but I mean this reset movement or pause movement or whatever's going on, where people are saying things like it gives us a chance to reset things. It does.
There's no emissions or anything on boats, so I could see how the boats do a lot more pollution.
Yeah.
Than a car would.
Yeah, there must be an awful lot of petrol, diesel, all that kind of stuff just going constantly into the water. Well, obviously, otherwise it wouldn't have.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been the stinking hole and then cleared up like it has done. Nature's very quick to take over, take things back. Have you seen those strips of fake grass?
Yeah.
But I'm like a strip of it. So I've got some of that in the garden, and I never liked it at first, but I think it's fantastic stuff now because you can just put it anywhere and you've got a path. Easy, nice, easy peasy.
Hose it off when it's dirty.
Hose it off when it's dirty. Yeah, it's great. Sweep it off. But when it's down for a long time, you start getting the weeds and that growing through it, even though it's as thick as what it is, and
it breaks down.
Plastic, because the seeds and that get on top of it, and then they grow on the top downwards. So if there was one I pulled up, and it was in the corner a bit, so you would never have noticed it until you cleared the corner out anyway. But half of the bloody strip of fake grass had been taken back over again. It's fully covered in weeds and grass and stuff, which I couldn't even pull off. I had to get the jet
roots wrap around it and through it.
Yeah, and through it and everything. It don't take Mother Nature long to reclaim it. That Chernobyl, half of that's all grown over now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You wouldn't know there was concrete underneath those vines and all of that.
Everything. The ferret is just in the happiest mood ever.
Which one is that? You got a couple, haven't you?
Yeah, this one's Nala. She's bouncing all over the bed. That's why I'm laughing. Yeah. Hi.
Hello, Nola. Sweet. How many have you got?
Just two.
2 ferrets.
Yeah.
So what have you got running around? You've
Don't launch on me.
2 ferrets running around.
Yes, just that's it, and a dog.
Oh, and a dog.
Yeah.
I thought you had something else running around or flying around. Didn't you have a bat or something?
Oh, I have other pets. They're just not out.
Right, but you let them out though.
The sugar gliders, the flying squirrels?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I play with them in the cage, but they pee all over you. I don't want them on me. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I thought you were saying the other day that you let them out from time to time.
No, those guys never come out. I mean, they could. I should play with them a lot more, but they're nocturnal, so they're normally awake at night. I was looking. I don't think they're awake right now.
It all looks dark behind you.
It is. The lights are off because everybody's sleeping.
Yeah, because it's flipping 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning.
What? Do you want that milk?
Yeah. Oh yeah. How's Facebook looking? Did we get many people from Facebook today?
I got 1 thumbs up on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
What? Why are you so playful? What? Yes, your fears. We all know your fears.
Looking at mine now, not growing right. Not
Oh.
nice. Yes. Essence.
I can't read the name.
Okay. Do you want me to read it? What name?
The name on the like on Facebook. It's an Islamic name. I don't know how to pronounce it.
All right. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Nice to know we're getting a little bit more exposure over there.
Thank you, Judith. She is cute.
That's what we've got to go for now. More and more exposure, so that when all this dies down, we've got lots of exposure, we've got lots of new members, and we can just get back to selling coins again. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
What are coins?
What coins?
Yes, that would be wonderful.
That's another subject I'm waiting to come up that doesn't seem to have come up yet. Is about the coins. Everybody's talking about don't touch this because it's metal, and don't touch that, and wipe your door handles down, and all the rest of it. But nobody's talking about the money in the pockets.
They do here. Drive-thrus don't accept cash.
Okay, they've not mentioned it. Has anybody else heard it on the English TV?
Here, the drive-thrus, yeah.
Yeah.
And Walmart's all self-checkout.
Okay.
And we have a whole bank of self-checkouts that they just installed. We just got to remodel. So there's like a bunch of them. And they just went all self-checkout. So the change goes into the machine. The machine deals with it all, gives change back. It's all with the machine.
Yeah. See, the change it's giving back, is it giving that change back out of the change that's coming in? And it's the change it gives back
no.
12 hours
The cash, when it goes into a separate bin, and the change goes into a bag underneath. And then the change that's distributed is up above in a completely different compartment.
Okay. Got you.
Now, the change is bagged up and then sent to the bank like that. Nothing's done to it. It's not even touched. So, yeah. What the bank's doing with it, I have no clue.
We're a bit slow over here.
Oh, yeah.
Jumping on that. I mean, I don't know if anybody's commented, but I certainly haven't heard anything on the news over here saying that
we have a bank that won't take will take our $50 in our bulk change now. The change has to be rolled, and they'll count it in the rolls and then send it off to the vault like that. We can't do loose change because they can't count it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's weird stuff that's happening here.
Yeah.
That's my local bank. I don't know what they're doing anywhere else.
I should think they're doing similar things.
I know lobbies are closed down.
They'll be in touch with other banks, won't they? I should think.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the banks will be in touch with each other. That kind of thing.
We'll talk to you later, Hector.
So, yeah, would you mind having a look at the Patreon for me?
Yep. I got it on my list.
And seeing if there's a way of finishing them other ones. And then if anybody wants to come in on the Royal Mint Fund still, you can do it through Patreon, and you can do it at whatever figure is comfortable for you, from, I think, $5 upwards. And it just means it'll be a monthly amount that you put into the fund as opposed to a one-off amount. So, that's cool. But that's the only thing I can do at the moment with Patreon. There's no other way of putting any kind of Patreon up with any kind of return.
Or how to do it, yeah.
Apart from that one. That one I can do because we will have a record of it. So if by the time we've gone to court and won, you've had 21 payments, it'll be there. We'll know exactly how many payments you've had at what price. So it'll be easy to work out your return. So if you fancy having a go at that and supporting us on that, that would be great. Otherwise, the other way of supporting us could be to come into this new share program. I give you a post. You share that post, a couple of times a day, 10 times in a day. Get your friends to share it to groups, and so on. And when it's got 1,000 shares, you get £1,000 coin parcel.
Nice.
That's one thing we are doing. I think we've got about 8 people on that, 6 or 8 people on that now. So yeah, so that's where we are on that. What else you got?
My job has become incredibly easy. So yeah.
Yeah. Now.
I start the show and end it. Yeah. I don't have all that stuff in the middle.
Yeah, this is true.
So I'm just, yeah.
Only at the moment. So Chris has managed to, he's doing well on the posts that he's got on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
He's got lots of attention to it. And I noticed yesterday there was 800 thumbs ups on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, exactly. Because what that means is you can click on that and a box appears and you can actually invite the people to your page that haven't liked your page. They've just given a thumbs up to your post. So you just go down and invite them and invite. But if we're going to start getting that kind of attention to the posts that we're doing, it took me ages to sit there and invite every single person that had clicked like. So that way of automatically inviting people is going to be more and more
definitely
important. You know, which is great, a great one for you whilst you've got more time on your hands. What I mean.
I'll get right on it right now.
You know, because we are going to get lots of attention, then we want those automatic invites being sent on all of the posts. I have a feeling we're going to end up, within a few weeks, we'll end up with about 30 people on this. That's what I'm hoping.
Should pick up pretty quick.
Yeah,
definitely.
And then that kind of publicity will make a huge difference. You know. So yeah, so I think that's about all I got. What you got? You got anything else?
It's a Wednesday morning. We'll find out what's going on here in a couple hours.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's coming up to 1 o'clock now, so there'll be the 1 o'clock news coming on.
Okay. I did watch the Boris yesterday with his address at 5.
Oh, yeah. I missed the first part of it. I was watching another channel.
10 or 15 minutes, I think, is all it was.
Yeah.
It was a very British way of saying just suck it up and we'll get through this.
Suck it up.
Yeah.
He didn't have much else to say apart from that, did he?
No, not that I remember. It was all just a repeat. It just rehashing what was expected. And you guys aren't under any different rules than the rest of the civilized countries, I guess.
No, they've just gone on non-essential lockdown. So if you've got non-essential work, you're supposed to stay at home. But now you have the argument of what's essential and what isn't. Yeah,
he listed, exercise, walking, or jogging with family members.
Yeah. So like
grocery shopping,
all these sorts of things happening. So now you've got plumbers and carpenters that are saying we're key workers because we're going to be needed.
But they're going to be in direct contact with everybody they work for.
You have got that problem, but you can have your 2 meter rule that way because, you know, just make sure everybody's out of the way if the plumber's coming in to do the radiator.
But then you got to disinfect the house. That radiator is holding the virus for 12 hours.
Yeah, or disinfect the radiator or whatever.
Yeah, however, weird.
Right, so you've got all of these issues that you're throwing up surrounding this.
Yeah.
Then you've got the other issue of, whilst you've got these builders and carpenters and plumbers that are classed as key workers, a lot of them are having a difficulty in staying open and being able to service their customers because the wholesalers like Screwfix that they go to buy their stuff are closing.
Yeah.
So you've got the tradesmen needing to be open because they're key workers, but the shops selling the gear that the traders need are closing.
I seem to remember reading something that like Home Depot and Lowe's, the big hardware stores, are just reducing hours. They're not completely closing here. But that might have changed. I think that was this weekend I was hearing that.
Yeah, some of the tradesmen were I was watching over the weekend were complaining that a lot of the trades warehouses are closed, so they can't go and buy what they need to do.
We have an Ace Hardware, which is a smaller hardware store, kind of like the mom and pop hardware store type place, and that was open this weekend.
Yeah, I think this weekend will be a teller. It'll be interesting to see who's going to stay open and not
this week.
And how many people that are supposed to be staying at home can't resist going to the DIY shops this week. Well, while I'm staying at home, I might as well go to the DIY shop and get this and get that and get this, but I'm going to need for the jobs. Is that you?
I did. That's what we did. We had to go get stuff for the chicken coop. So chicken wire and screws and a couple other things.
So you got to go out and do shopping and mix with people.
She said the hardware store was completely. I didn't go out, but she said the hardware store was completely empty.
Oh, now I'd have thought that would be really busy with people buying stuff to, protect themselves and build shelves and all sorts.
We just
Hello, Kappa. Mate. Good boy.
We'll get through this. Everybody will.
Everybody will, yeah, absolutely.
Just gonna be a little bored for right now.
And those that don't will bury.
Oh, Popcorn says minimum of a 30-pound fine for not so always distancing social.
£30 fine.
Seems like they're finding people somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've said here that they're going to find people if you're stopped in the street and you're not doing one of the things that you're allowed to do, then you get an on the spot fine.
Okay, that is there.
But there's nothing to stop you saying, "Well, I'm going to go and see my grandma."
You're not allowed to go see your grandma. Social visits aren't allowed.
I'm going to go and get my grandma some shopping and leave it on a path in front of the door.
Yeah.
When really you're going off to.
Where's your grandma live? Why? The store's that way, and so's your grandma. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, they got to have some, but people just got to be smart about it.
Yeah, I wonder how it would all be if we were younger. Don't know what it's going to be like for the youngsters. Can't imagine.
I just imagine 20 years ago what this would have been like without all the social media and the interaction that we have, the instant information we all expect now.
Yeah.
Not even have. We expect it. We expect to know what's happening now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have access to that, which is probably the reason there's such a scaremongering with the pandemic.
A very sobering thought, but I'm not too sure. But something to think about anyway. In closing, when you're watching all of this news, it does have an effect. It really, really does. So if you end up, for example, having the telly on for 6 or 7 hours, and even if it's on in the background and you've just got the news on most of the time because you're trying to keep updated on the news, the fact that you're being bombarded with this regurgitated stuff over and over and over again actually does make a difference to your mental health and well-being, believe it or not. It really, really does. Remember, I live with a therapist, 30, 40 years experience, knows her stuff. So
I've been doing a lot of gardening.
Yeah, take breaks, So like advice is go out, go into the garden if you can, go on the balcony if you can't, have a break away from the news, have a break away from the computer, go on something different, turn it off, and then go back to it again. And then you maybe won't feel so depressed and down. But if you find yourself feeling really, and then sit down and think about it, you might find a correlation with the fact that you've had the news on for 6 hours, 3 days straight. Do you know what I mean?
Just bombarded with all the negativity.
Absolutely.
Oh, good news. Good news. Super Dave's back.
Super Dave back.
He is back in his house now. He got out of the hospital yesterday.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. No pacemaker. He had open heart surgery. So it's been 2 months. He's still pretty
that makes
slow,
him quite
but
surprised they let him out. That makes him quite vulnerable. Perhaps they need the bed.
He's safer here than he is down there.
Yeah.
They tried to kick him out about a month ago, and the doctor said no.
Right.
Because he was on intravenous antibiotics and some other stuff that they had to have him in there for.
And is he being looked after at home?
Yeah. He lives half a mile from us.
Right.
Yeah.
So you'll be seeing him a bit more. Oh no, you won't be seeing him.
2 or 3 times a day.
Will?
Oh, he'll get checked on. He has to be checked on 2 or 3 times a day right now.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Just in case.
We'll send him our best then. Send him a bit of love bucket.
Okay.
Definitely.
No, now that he's back, we'll start delivering food to him and taking care of him again.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. I'm glad about that because I was thinking about him the other day. He's been in there quite a while now, hasn't he? Been in there a fair while now.
2 months. 2 months. Yeah. Well, he went in and they had to get rid of the infection for the pacemaker. Then they decided that they had to replace the leads for the pacemaker, and that's open heart. And then they went in and open hearted surgery and fixed some other stuff, and then decided he didn't need the pacemaker anymore. So yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, fingers crossed, eh?
Yep. So that's good news.
By the way, our Patreon, I believe, is patreon.com/2gbch.
Yep, Chris posted a few minutes ago.
So that's where you can go for that if you want to.
Thank you, Judith.
For those of you that would like a share in the royalmint.news at 39 quid or the Royal Mint TV at 100 quid, you have to text me and let me know. And if you want to put any money into the 10 times the Mint Fund, you can do it by bank transfer texting me, or you can do it monthly on Patreon now. So let's try and get that built up ready for when we come back, and then we can go and smack their bottoms.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
And a good morning.
Thanks a lot.
Be safe out there.
Be very safe. Look after yourselves. Plan. Get the jobs done. Wash your hands. Right? Look after each other. And don't forget, all you ladies out there that have got a man, it's your absolute duty and everything to look after your man to the best of your ability. Right?
Sound very optimistic with that.
I knew she was in the background. Hello, Fran.
You want to keep your man safe and virus free? Listen to Uncle Ian. You've got to make him breakfast in bed, cups of tea in the morning. Make sure he's got a bit of lunch. Make sure he's got a little bit of cuddles. Right? Get him looked after, and then
smack upside the head. Make sure that marbles are settled.
Yeah. I imagine a few of you want to clump right now. Okay, that's it. We're done. Thank you very much. If you do want to support us, please do. If you don't, I don't blame you because things are quite crap at the minute. But if you got the money and you want to do it, then please.
We'll get it figured out. Oh, camera's over here. Bye.
Hey now, take a step outside and seize the day now. Set aside your worries, it's okay now. The sun is here to stay.